In a shocking twist that nobody saw coming, the internet is exploding with drama after Tekashi 6ix9ine dropped what fans are calling the most disrespectful diss track of the decade. And the target? None other than Bronx legend Fat Joe. The moment the track hit the timeline, fans didn't know whether to laugh or hide, because 6ix9ine didn't just throw shots. He launched a missile straight at Joey Crack's legacy. And according to social media, Fat Joe is not taking this lightly. Rumors say 6ix9ine has been plotting this move for months, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back at someone he believes never respected him. And when you hear the aggressive bars, the name drops, the wild accusations, you can feel the pettiness vibrating through the beat. Listeners are stunned, saying, "Ain't no way he said that," while others are begging Fat Joe to respond before things get uglier. From leaked DMs to industry insiders whispering that this beef might spill into the streets, emotions are high. Fans are divided, and the rap world is officially at war. But where did this all start? And how far will it go? Stay tuned. The rap world woke up to chaos. One moment, the timeline was calm. The next, every major blog page, from the biggest hip-hop sites to fan-run pages on Instagram and TikTok, was screaming the same thing. 6ix9ine just declared war on Fat Joe. Nobody believed the notifications at first. People thought it was memes or just another 6ix9ine publicity stunt. But once fans pressed play, everything changed. The beat dropped, gunshots echoed in the background, and Tekashi's voice cut through with pure venom. Joey washed up. "I'm the Bronx now. I run New York, you just rent time." The room fell silent. People's jaws dropped. The camera cut to 6ix9ine in the music video, surrounded by neon lights, stacks of cash, and a crowd of new affiliates wearing bright ski masks, nodding like they knew this track would set the internet on fire. He smirked and held the mic like a weapon. And then, the most disrespectful line hit, "You should have kept Big Pun's name out your mouth. He carried you. You only stand tall because legends stood behind you." Twitter absolutely lost it. The comment section turned into a battlefield. Some fans were hyping it up. "Nah, he killed Joey Crack for real. I can't believe he went there. That's disrespect on another level." Others were furious. 6ix9ine always using other legends to stay relevant. He needs to stop talking about Pun. That's crossing the line. Behind the scenes, people close to Fat Joe say he was sitting in a studio when the track was sent to him. At first he laughed, thought it was a joke. But the laughter quickly stopped. "He really disrespected Pun like that?" "Nah, we ain't letting that slide," Joe reportedly told the people around him. And what made it even crazier? There were rumors, spreading like wildfire, that 6ix9ine had more personal jabs lined up. Sources claimed he planned to expose private conversations between him and Fat Joe from years ago. Why is 6ix9ine acting like this? Why go after a rap veteran when you're already surrounded by controversy? Well, apparently this beef isn't new. It's years in the making. Let's rewind. Back in 2017, when 6ix9ine first started gaining buzz, he asked several big New York artists for support. Some ignored him, but some gave him advice, including Fat Joe. And on camera, Joe once told him, "You're playing a dangerous game, lil bro. The feds are watching. You need to change before it's too late." 6ix9ine felt disrespected. He didn't want warnings. He wanted validation. That moment left a bruise on his ego. Fast forward through the trials, the snitch jokes, the multiple comebacks. Fat Joe continued to distance himself, refusing to publicly support Tekashi in any way. He even said in an interview, "You can't be a real gangster if you break the rules of the streets." That quote haunted 6ix9ine. He felt like Joe labeled him as weak, fake, a disgrace. So now, he's fighting back the only way he knows how, through trolling, chaos, and the mic. Inside the diss track, Tekashi referenced that moment. "Warned me like a dad. You ain't my pops. You hated my shine 'cause your time stopped." People were stunned by the confidence and/or stupidity, depending on who you ask. But hold up. This gets even deeper. Right after the track dropped, a mysterious clip leaked onto social media. It allegedly showed 6ix9ine receiving a phone call from someone close to Fat Joe's camp. The audio was crackly, but one line stood out. "You better chill before this gets serious." 6ix9ine smiled into the camera, leaned back and said, "I'm already serious. Tell Joey I'm just warming up." Fans watching the clip wrote, He's really trying to get himself hurt. This man waking up every OG in New York. Industry insiders began whispering that major street ties were getting involved, old alliances, old grudges, old power structures. Even DJ Academics jumped on his live stream and said, "I ain't gonna lie, I know where this could go, and I hope it don't." But if you think 6ix9ine was done, oh, he was just getting started. Moments after the video's release, he posted on Instagram, "Fat Joe been hating on me since day one. You mad I did more in 5 years than you did in 25? Fans immediately flooded the comments. Some laughed. Some panicked. Some demanded Fat Joe clap back ASAP. But the biggest shock came from the Bronx itself, where old-school fans loyal to Fat Joe were outraged. They felt like 6ix9ine crossed a sacred line disrespecting Big Pun, a legend cherished in the borough. One supporter recorded a message outside Pun's mural. "He wanna talk big? Pull up in the Bronx with that energy. We'll see who runs New York." People were tagging Fat Joe nonstop, begging him to defend Pun's honor. Meanwhile, blogs and shady insiders claimed that 6ix9ine had dirt on Fat Joe he was ready to expose. Personal secrets about his career, his friendships, even his family. As rumors swirled, 6ix9ine celebrated the chaos like a victory parade. He went live, laughing at all the noise. "Y'all finally paying attention again. That's what I wanted." But behind the manic energy, there was insecurity. People close to him said he felt like the industry had abandoned him, and he needed a villain to fight just to stay relevant. That desperation, that hunger for attention, it was dangerous. Because while Tekashi was loving the spotlight, Fat Joe was getting angry. Witnesses said he slammed his phone on the studio table, stood up and said, "I kept quiet long enough." And that decision would change everything, because this wasn't just rap anymore. This was personal. And everyone watching could feel it. The tension was rising, the stakes were getting higher, and New York City was bracing for a storm that might reshape rap history. What would Fat Joe do next? Would he respond with his own diss? Would he confront 6ix9ine face to face? Or would this escalate into something nobody was ready for? One thing was clear. This beef had only just begun. The entire hip-hop world held its breath. Blogs refreshed every 5 seconds. Fans camped out on Twitter Spaces debating who would come out on top. Because everyone knew Fat Joe wasn't a man who tolerated disrespect, especially when it came to Big Pun. Late at night, whispers started surfacing. Fat Joe's in the studio. He's cooking up something vicious. He's about to end 6ix9ine's career again. Fans were glued to their screens. Then suddenly, boom! A tweet from Joe's official account. "You woke up the wrong one." No emojis, no hashtags, just pure warning. Minutes later, Joe hopped on Instagram Live. Thousands tuned in instantly. He sat there calm, too calm, leaning back in a leather chair, eyes cold like he'd been planning revenge his whole life. "Tekashi, you must have forgotten who you're talking to." His voice was low, controlled, yet heavy with threat. The live chat exploded. Joe continued, "I tried to guide you once. I told you. What you're doing will catch up to you. But you ain't listen. Now you want to bring Pun's name into this? Okay, say no more." He didn't yell. Didn't curse. That made it scarier. OGs watching knew. A calm Fat Joe was a dangerous Fat Joe. But before Joe could finish his message, someone in the background interrupted. A man fans recognized instantly. Remy Ma. "Joe, why you even giving this clown attention? Joe, why you even giving this clown attention?" She snapped. "He's desperate. Let him drown in his own mess." Joe sighed, but the fire in his eyes didn't die. "Nah, Rem, some lessons gotta be taught." Rumors spread that Remy begged Joe to let it go. She didn't want to see street-level consequences return. But Joe wasn't hearing it, and then, a plot twist nobody expected. A new diss track preview started circulating online. But wait, it wasn't from Fat Joe, it was from Big Pun's son, Chris Rivers. In the leaked snippet, Chris rapped, "You bark loud online but quiet in person. Clown show colors in every version." Fans were shocked. Pun's bloodline entered the chat. "This is bigger than hip-hop. This is family." 6ix9ine laughed it off. He posted a photo flexing money with the caption, "Got the whole family emotional." Y'all real sensitive. People couldn't believe he doubled down. Even his own fans were like, "Bro, you playing a dangerous game now. This ain't trolling anymore. Then came another twist. Audio leaked, a phone call between 6ix9ine and a close friend, where Tekashi admitted, "I knew going at Fat Joe would bring the spotlight back. They forgot about me. I needed to shake the room." He sounded frantic, angry, like a man chasing relevance. No matter the cost. But the call didn't end there. He said something darker. "If Joe got a problem, he knows where I'm at. I ain't hiding." That line alone sparked panic among fans. Nah, he trying to start a war he can't finish. They gonna catch him lacking. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the Bronx was heating up. Local sources said several of Joe's longtime street friends were furious. They felt disrespected by a kid who hadn't earned stripes. They wanted vengeance. Joe tried calming them down. "This is music. We gonna handle it on wax first." But some loyalty runs deeper than orders. Meanwhile, bloggers got hold of a picture that sent fans into a frenzy. 6ix9ine arriving at a nightclub, wearing a jacket with Big Pun's face crossed out as a graphic design. Fans said, now he's begging for consequences. He just signed his own death certificate. Even DJ Khaled reportedly reached out to Joe, urging peace. "Joe, we blessed. We don't need this negativity. Let God handle the clown." Joe responded, "I am. God gave me a mic, didn't he?" That night, in total secrecy, Fat Joe recorded his response track titled, "Silence the Rat." Engineers said Joe's tone was darker than ever. "I raised up kings in these streets. You rose up cops in that courtroom." Fans on social media speculated he gonna destroy Tekashi with facts. This ain't gonna be a diss, it's gonna be an obituary. But here's the plot twist. Right before Joe could drop the track, the police allegedly showed up to his studio. Not for him, but to deliver a warning. Agents reportedly said, "Your name is being mentioned in conversations. We advise you not to escalate anything." Everyone in the studio went silent. Joe clenched his fists. So he got them involved again? This dude always hiding behind badges. When that news hit 6ix9ine, he celebrated online like he won a championship. "They protecting me because I'm the golden boy. Y'all mad the streets ain't yours anymore." Social media erupted. This man just snitched on himself about snitching. He ain't scared of nobody. He's scared of being irrelevant. Meanwhile, Joe wasn't backing down. He called a meeting, a serious one, with Remy Ma, French Montana, and a few powerful music executives. The goal? Decide whether this stays in music or becomes something darker. Insiders claim the room was tense. French warned, "Tekashi ain't worth jail time. Let him fall on his own." Remy shook her head. "He chasing you. He needs you to respond. Don't give him his wish." Joe sat silent, thinking, burning inside. Then he spoke. "I'm dropping the track. But I'm not stopping there." Everyone turned to him, confused. "What you talking about?" Remy demanded. Joe leaned forward. "You want to play with my respect? You want to play with Pun? Okay, I'm pulling his file. I'm exposing everything." And that's when the real plot twist hit. Fat Joe claimed he had receipts, voice messages, screenshots, and secrets from 6ix9ine's past, the kind of receipts that could end careers permanently. Remy gasped. "You sure you want to open that box?" Joe nodded. He opened it first. The rap world sensed something massive coming, bigger than just diss tracks, bigger than bars. This wasn't just hip-hop beef anymore. This was legacy versus chaos, respect versus clout, OG versus menace. Fans started taking sides. Team Fat Joe, protect legends. Team 6ix9ine, the real troll king. But nobody, not the fans, not the blogs, not even the rappers involved, knew that a third player was about to enter the battlefield. Someone who could flip everything upside down. Someone who knew both men very, very well. And when he stepped in, all hell would break loose, just when fans thought things couldn't get more chaotic. A new name entered the chat. A name that made everyone freeze. DJ Khaled? No. Remy Ma? Already here. Chris Rivers? Involved? No. This was somebody connected to both sides at a personal level. Cuban Link. For those who don't know, Cuban Link was once best friends with Fat Joe and part of Terror Squad before their massive fallout years ago. Betrayal, accusations, physical fights, the whole package. So when Cuban Link appeared on IG Live, holding a phone with Tekashi on FaceTime, fans lost their minds. Tekashi laughed through the screen. "Tell Joey I'm building my army out of his skeletons." Cuban Link smirked. "Pun was my brother. Joe ain't never do right by him. You want the truth? I got every file. The comment section exploded. No way Cuban and 6ix9ine teaming up. That's the pettiest collab in history. This just turned Shakespeare-level tragic. Fat Joe saw the clip within minutes. Witnesses say he slammed his fist on the table and shouted, "That snake!" I knew he'd crawl out eventually. This wasn't just industry beef anymore. This was deep personal history being reopened like an old wound. But that wasn't the only betrayal. Another turn, this time from 6ix9ine's own people. A screenshot leaked from his private group chat, where his new crew criticized his reckless trolling. One message read, "You going too far with pun. You can argue with Joe, but disrespecting the dead? That's not the move." Another said, "Bro, if something happens to you, don't say we didn't warn you." Fans reacted. Even his boys are scared. He's losing control. But 6ix9ine? He didn't care. His obsession with winning was taking over. Behind closed doors, sources say 6ix9ine was spiraling. No sleep, constantly checking his phone, paranoid someone would catch him lacking. His manager tried calming him. "You got the spotlight back. Just chill now." 6ix9ine screamed, "No, I need more. They think I'm scared? I'll show them scared." Meanwhile, Fat Joe's camp was scrambling. Chris Rivers confronted Joe privately. "Uncle Joe, please don't drag my pops into something ugly." Joe softened, just for a moment. "I'm protecting Pun's legacy." Tekashi crossed the line. Chris shook his head. If Pop was here, he'd want this handled like men, not messy internet beef. Joe sighed deeply. He knew Chris was right, but pride is a monster. Then Remy Ma pulled Joe aside. "You know what Tekashi wants? A reaction. He feeds off chaos. You gotta hit him where it hurts. Silence." Joe stared at her like she was speaking another language. "Silence? He disrespected my brother. If nobody checks him, who will?" Remy left frustrated. "Don't let that clown drag you back into the streets." But a decision was already made. Not by Joe. Not by Remy. Not even by 6ix9ine. By the streets. That same night, 6ix9ine was spotted in Miami outside a luxury hotel. Paparazzi swarmed him. He started dancing and screaming, "I run New York! Fat Joe can't stop me!" Suddenly, chaos. A group of masked men rushed in and tried grabbing 6ix9ine. His security pulled guns. People screamed, cars screeched. The scene turned into a mini war zone. In the mayhem, one of the masked men yelled, "Pun forever! Keep his name out your mouth." That video hit social media like a meteor. Fans were terrified. They really after him. "This ain't music no more." Tekashi barely escaped. But the damage was done. He looked shaken, trembling, sweaty. This wasn't trolling online. This was danger in real life. Even his closest friends told him, "You need to stop now, bro." But Tekashi, unstable and furious, turned trauma into fuel. He went straight to a studio, locked himself in, and started recording at top volume. Witnesses claim the lyrics were even more disrespectful. "I ain't scared of crack. I break it down and flip it." The engineer begged him to stop. "Dog, you talking insane right now?" 6ix9ine snapped, "Upload it when I say so." Meanwhile, Fat Joe finally dropped a public statement. "You brought this on yourself. You wanted attention, congratulations. I'll see you soon." No diss track. No shouting. Just promise, and that scared fans more than anything. Bloggers like academics streamed emergency discussions. This might be the last straw. Someone gotta step in before something irreversible happens. Even major influencers begged the rap world to intervene. We don't want another tragedy. This beef ain't worth a life. Then, another shockwave. A podcast episode leaked from years ago, where Fat Joe supposedly said he'd never co-sign clowns who disrespect the culture. Many believed he was talking about 6ix9ine even back then. 6ix9ine posted a reaction. "He been hating on me since before I blew up? That's jealousy." He went live ranting, "All these old rappers think they own hip-hop. New York is mine now." Tears welled up in his eyes mid-speech. Hip-hop. New York is mine now. Tears welled up in his eyes mid-speech. His voice cracked. The mask slipped. "You think I wanted to be hated? You think I wanted to go through what I went through? I did what I had to do to survive." Fans suddenly saw vulnerability beneath the insanity. Some comments shifted. Maybe he's crying out for help. This dude hurting for real. But then he ruined it, wiping his tears and laughing maniacally. "Forget all that soft stuff. I'm the villain, and villains don't die." Back in NYC, Fat Joe received a call from someone unexpected, his own son. "Dad, please, walk away from this," he begged. Joe rubbed his forehead, torn. "I can't let someone spit on my brother's grave." "But what about us? What if something happens to you?" Joe froze. He looked at his son, scared, vulnerable. The weight of legacy versus family crashed on his shoulders. He whispered, "I ain't going nowhere. I promise." But deep inside, he knew a storm was coming. A storm neither of them could fully control. And while the world watched these two men spiral deeper into hatred and pride, someone else was quietly pulling strings. Cuban link, fueling flames, feeding egos, whispering poison. He wanted Joe broken. He wanted Pun's legacy restored, through destruction. He told Tekashi, "You think this is about a song? No, this is history. And history needs revenge." Tekashi grinned, loving the drama, but he didn't realize he was becoming a pawn, and pawns get sacrificed first. The world had been watching the slow-motion crash, waiting to see who would blink first. Now it was time for reckoning. The noise reached a fever pitch. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Social feeds were a war zone, group chats were erupting, and everywhere you looked, people were picking sides like it was a championship fight. The city smelled like tension. Fat Joe walked into his living room and found his mother watching TV, clutching a rosary. "They keeping Pun's name in the gutter?" she whispered. The family was left divided, half begging him to stop, half demanding he defend honor. Joe held her hand, feeling the weight of a legacy he couldn't let be mocked. "We ain't finna let that slide," he told her, voice low, the decision already carved into his bones. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine paced in a penthouse overlooking the city, eyes sunken, energy jittery. He was riding a wave of online chaos, but something had changed. The laughter felt hollow. He scrolled through replies, seeing the same refrain. "This is too far. This ain't funny no more." Somewhere in those comments, fear had crept in. He slammed his phone down and dialed. "Yo," he breathed when someone picked up. "We ain't backing. This is the moment. Careful, bro," his manager warned. "This ain't just smoke now." He laughed, brittle. "Let him talk. I already told you, I need this. I need them to watch." Back in the Bronx, a candlelight vigil formed at a mural of Big Pun fans crowded in, hugging, sobbing, reciting lyrics. The family came out to meet the crowd, faces drained, eyes tired. Chris Rivers stepped up, microphone shaking. "They're using my dad's name like it's a prop. Fans are shocked," he said, and the crowd roared in agreement. The atmosphere felt sacred and volatile at the same time, grief braided with rage. Then came the video that blew the roof off everything. Someone uploaded a raw clip, shaky, grainy, of a confrontation outside a private studio. It showed a man shouting, hands flailing, a sudden scuffle, and then men stepping between them. Text overlay read, "You asked for smoke." Comments flooded. This escalated. Emotions ran high. This could have been ugly. Within an hour, the clip had been dissected by every influencer in the game. People replayed frames, speculated on motives, and tried to divine whether this was staged or real. The line between performance and reality blurred until it was a smear. "They both playing with fire," a popular commentator said. "You make it personal, you invite chaos." Fat Joe released a message. "We will handle this with dignity. Respect the family, let the music speak." The tone was stern but measured. Thousands liked and shared. Some took it as wisdom. Others saw it as a prelude to a storm. Fans were split. Team Fat Joe praised his restraint, while Team 6ix9ine accused him of pretending to be above the fray. That night, 6ix9ine dropped another teaser, a clip of a new track with a menacing hook. But instead of anger, there was vulnerability beneath the bravado. "They call me villain 'cause I survived," he whispered in the chorus. That lyric broke like glass in the timeline. Suddenly, the persona cracked. Some fans softened. "He's hurting," they typed. Others doubled down. "This is manipulation." And then the person everyone expected least to intervene stepped into the light, an old-school journalist who had covered both men for years. He put out a thread revealing how the online escalation had been manufactured by a handful of provocateurs who profited from attention. "This is not new," he wrote. "This is the algorithm's fault. This is industry optics." The piece went viral. For a moment, it felt like clarity. like someone had taken the lens off the microscope and shown the grease that made the gears spin. But drama loves momentum, and momentum rarely stops because of reason. Remy Ma's face appeared on a late-night show, voice steady, eyes fierce. "We can't continue to glorify chaos," she said. "Respect the culture. Respect the dead." Her words landed like a gavel. Fans are shocked. Many had expected her to stoke the fire, not try to douse it. Cuban Link, sensing his power slipping, made a dramatic move. He posted an audio clip where he claimed to have messages and receipts. The internet lit up, his caption, "Truth ain't pretty." For a few hours, it seemed like all the secrets would spill. People waited, breath held. Then the clip was taken down. The reason? Cuban had been contacted by people who reminded him the game has rules, and some players pay a bigger price for breaking them. In the space left by threats and teases, something else happened. A quiet meeting. It was not on camera. A handful of artists, veterans and new voices, sat in a room lit by soft lamps and heavy curtains. They talked about legacy, responsibility, and the cost of clout. They argued, yelled, calmed down, then argued again. One said, "We're making our own funerals with these lines." Another replied, "But we gotta keep it real." Emotions ran high. The family was left divided even within the room. Some wanted a hardline response. Others begged for peace. Fat Joe and 6ix9ine were both invited to that meeting. Both declined, pride and logistics, or perhaps strategy. Still, their proxies attended. The proxies left, shoulders heavy, carrying the weight of decisions they did not make. But the meeting planted a seed. Maybe the fight could be turned into something else. A dialogue, an album, a reconciliation tour. Maybe. Hope is a fragile thing. Meanwhile, an online petition began gaining signatures, urging both artists to participate in a charity cipher dedicated to Big Pun's memory. The request was simple: heal, not hurt. With thousands of signatures, it was impossible to ignore. Fans started shifting the narrative, demanding restoration instead of ruin. The tone changed in corners of the internet. "Let the music heal," one trending tag read. Under pressure, both camps finally made moves that shocked everyone. 6ix9ine tweeted a short message. "I didn't mean to hurt the family. I loved the energy, but I never wanted disrespect." It was immediate damage control. Fat Joe, for his part, released a statement. "We lost a legend. If anyone's heart was wounded, I forgive, but we must be careful with words." The reaction was instantaneous. Relief, skepticism, celebration. Some fans cried. Others accused the men of staging a PR play. But the conversation had shifted from rage to repair. A reconciliation felt possible, like a fragile bridge being built over a river of anger. Still, not every wound heals that fast. Chris Rivers appeared on a podcast, voice steady but raw. "If we're gonna heal, it can't be just words," he said. "Actions matter. Respect matters." He demanded a public acknowledgement from 6ix9ine and a pledge to support the family. The demand was fair but also heavy. In response, 6ix9ine agreed to a sit-down, a filmed conversation mediated by respected community figures and artists who knew the history. The plan? Talk, apologize, and propose a charity concert devoted to Big Pun's legacy. The internet exploded. Fans are shocked. Emotions ran high. Could this end with a concert? People flooded the comments, some hopeful, some skeptical. When the sit-down finally aired, the emotions were raw. 6ix9ine admitted he'd crossed a line, voice cracking. Fat Joe spoke of legacy and pain, eyes glistening. There were tense moments, but also laughter, awkward smiles, and the occasional silence that felt heavier than any diss. At one point, Fat Joe reached across the table and offered a hand. It hovered for a beat, then 6ix9ine took it. The gesture sent a shockwave through the feeds. For a minute, the violence of the past gave way to something resembling accountability. The show closed with an announcement, a benefit concert to honor Big Pun's life, with proceeds to support music education in the Bronx. The plan was ambitious. The idea that a feud could end in funds for kids felt almost unreal. But it was real enough to change the tenor of the narrative. Not everyone cheered. Some said the reconciliation was too little, too late. Others called it a masterstroke of public relations. But the truth was messy, complicated by pride, scars, and the algorithm's hunger. In the end, the fight that had threatened to rip the culture apart did what culture does best. It turned pain into art, rivalry into a public reckoning, and noise into a possibility for something better. The family was still healing. The fans were still divided, but the conversation had shifted from destruction to repair. As the city exhaled, one thing remained certain: hip-hop had survived another storm. The question left lingering in the air: who benefits from the chaos and who pays the price? That question would live on in the comment sections, the songs, and the murals. And as viewers, you were part of the story. If this was the end, it was only the beginning of new chapters. New alliances, new grudges, new music born from the ashes. And there you have it, the rap world once again thrown into total chaos, all thanks to one diss track that nobody saw coming. Tekashi 6ix9ine has ignited a fire that could burn for a very long time. Fat Joe, a respected Bronx legend, suddenly finds his name trending for all the wrong reasons, and fans are desperately waiting to see what his next move will be. Will he clap back on Wax? Will he address this in an interview? Or will he take the silence is power route and refuse to give the situation more energy? Right now, everyone from bloggers to industry insiders to fans across the world are arguing nonstop. Whose side are you on? Who crossed the line first? And is this beef about music? Or something much deeper? Because if there's one thing we learned from this wild saga, it's that relationships in hip-hop can flip real fast. One moment, you're cool. The next moment, you're enemies on the biggest stage possible, the internet. The tension is thick, the rumors are messy, and the consequences? Still unknown. The only thing that's guaranteed: this story is far from over. Anything can happen next. Surprise responses, leaked conversations, more music shots fired, and maybe even unexpected alliances. Hip-hop fans are refreshing their feeds every 5 seconds because the suspense is unreal. So now it's your turn to jump into the conversation. Who do you think is winning this war? Should Fat Joe respond or let it go? And what do you think 6ix9ine's endgame really is? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading everything. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update in this explosive rap drama. Because trust me, this story is just beginning.